All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something that might sound a little uh, exclusive at first.
Oh,
Gold IRAs.
okay.
Yeah, gold IRAs.
Oh,
You might think at first, gold IRAs, isn't that something only millionaires really have to worry about?
right. Yeah, because a bad custodian can end up costing you in a lot of ways, not just with like hidden fees and stuff, but
Oh, wow.
you can get in trouble with the IRS. So
Oh, no.
the goal here, this deep dive, is to give you the knowledge to ask the right questions and stay in control of your financial future.
Okay, so we want to avoid any nasty surprises down the road.
Exactly.
So let's break down what these custodians actually do.
Okay.
Um, they're responsible for storing your gold.
All right.
They handle the transactions.
Mm,
And most importantly, they make sure that everything is totally aligned with all the IRS regulations.
yes, all the rules and regulations, very important.
Now, one of the articles you sent over highlighted some serious risks associated with choosing the wrong custodian.
Uh,
Yeah, we're talking about things like outright fraud,
wow.
getting hit with unexpected fees, and even finding that your investment options are limited.
Really?
One of the analogies that really stuck with me from the articles was comparing it to a bank that only lets you buy gold bars. When you really want the flexibility to be able to invest in coins as well,
Oh, I
it
see.
restricts your
It
strategy.
really limits you. Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, and that flexibility is so important, especially when you consider the tax advantages that you get with a gold IRA.
Right.
They can be pretty significant, but if you mess up the rules,
Yeah.
you can have some big headaches with the IRS.
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants that.
No, you really don't.
So a good custodian can kind of act like a shield,
Mhm.
protecting you from those potential pitfalls.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
Now, this comparison table that you sent,
Yes.
this is super helpful.
Good.
It really clearly lays out the differences between custodians that are really top tier
Yeah.
and those that might not be the best fit for you.
Right.
In the fees section,
Yes.
this really jumps out at me. Some of them offer really transparent and competitive pricing,
Mm-hmm.
which is what you want to see, while others seem to be hiding fees or have really high transaction costs.
Transparency is so important.
Yeah.
It's like choosing a bank, right? You want one that's upfront about all their fees and doesn't nickel and dime you for every little thing.
Right. No one likes those hidden surprises,
Nobody wants to be surprised when it comes to their money.
especially with their money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, this table goes beyond just fees.
Oh.
It also highlights how important it is to know how your custodian is handling storage options, what kind of insurance they offer, and how they manage beneficiary designations.
Right.
All of this is really super relevant to your estate planning goals.
Absolutely. I mean, if you choose a custodian that messes up the inheritance process, that can totally derail the whole plan that you've worked so hard to set up.
Okay, so let's move on to storage security.
Right.
Now, this is where things get really serious
Okay.
because the IRS has really strict rules about where your gold can be held. We're
Right.
talking about IRS-approved depositories.
Yes.
And one thing that the articles really emphasized was the importance of segregated accounts.
Oh, yes. Segregated accounts. These are vital.
Okay.
This means that your gold is kept separate from everybody else's.
Okay.
It's not all lumped together.
Oh, okay.
Think of it like having your own safety deposit box at a bank.
Right.
It's a much safer approach.
It makes total sense.
Yes.
Now, I don't recall any specific examples in these articles about custodians mismanaging storage and people losing their investments,
Right.
but I'm sure those stories exist.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
And it highlights why choosing a custodian with a really solid reputation is so important.
It's absolutely crucial.
Yeah. So where do we even begin with that? What are some concrete steps that we can take to vet these custodians?
Okay, so remember that reputation row that we were just talking about?
Yes.
Well, it's not enough to just see like a fancy logo on their website and just assume everything's on the up and up.
Right.
We're talking about your financial future,
Yeah.
your legacy here.
Mhm.
So how do we really get a sense of whether this custodian can be trusted?
One of the articles suggested going beyond just like the marketing fluff
Right.
and digging into their credentials.
Yeah.
It specifically mentioned looking for accreditation from reputable organizations.
Yes, that's a great place to start.
Okay.
Organizations like the Better Business Bureau,
Okay.
the BBB, they have that rating system. They
Mhm.
keep track of complaints.
Okay.
So you can get a pretty good idea of how the custodian handles issues and resolves problems.
Okay.
But don't stop there.
Okay.
Look at industry-specific groups like the National Association of Precious Metals Investors
Okay.
NAPMI,
Okay.
they can provide some more insight.
So it's about getting multiple perspectives,
Yes.
like getting a second opinion from a doctor.
Exactly.
You want that reassurance.
Yes, you want to feel confident
Okay.
that you're making a solid choice.
Yeah, exactly.
And think of it like building a case file on your potential custodian.
Okay.
You want to see a history of ethical behavior,
Right.
transparency,
Mm-hmm.
and financial stability.
Speaking of financial stability, I noticed that one article emphasized checking the custodian's own financial health.
Yes, that's so important.
Okay.
It makes a lot of sense because you're entrusting them with your assets.
Right.
You know, you need to make sure they're in a secure position themselves.
Right, like checking someone's credit score before loaning them money.
Exactly. You want to feel confident they can handle the responsibility.
So it's about trust.
Yes, it's all about trust.
Yeah, you need to feel confident that the custodian is in it for the long haul
Right.
and has a vested interest in your success.
Absolutely. Now let's go back to aligning your custodian with your estate planning goals.
Okay.
We talked about beneficiary designations earlier.
Yeah.
It's so important, it's worth emphasizing again.
Mm-hmm. It's about making sure that your hard-earned wealth is passed on according to your wishes.
Right.
And a good custodian should be able to guide you through that process.
Exactly. They should be able to clearly explain how to designate beneficiaries for your gold IRA, how to structure it to minimize potential tax burdens on your heirs,
Okay.
even how to coordinate it with your other estate planning documents like wills and trusts.
So this is where that idea of partnering with your custodian really comes in.
Yes, exactly.
They shouldn't just be processing paperwork. They should be proactive in helping you navigate these complex issues.
I couldn't agree more. A good custodian should be knowledgeable about estate planning laws
Okay.
and able to thoroughly answer your questions, or at the very least, connect you with an expert who
Right.
they should be a resource, not a roadblock.
Absolutely. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about diversification.
Okay.
One of the articles mentioned that top-tier custodians often offer more than just gold,
Yes,
a whole range of precious metals.
that's right.
I'm really interested in learning more about that.
Well, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of gold.
Yeah.
But smart investors know that diversification is key to managing risk.
Okay.
That means looking beyond a single asset class.
So are we talking about silver,
Yes.
platinum, maybe even some palladium?
You got it.
Okay, what are the benefits of those?
Well, each of these metals has its own unique properties
Right.
and market behavior.
Okay.
For example, silver is often seen as a more affordable alternative to gold,
Mm-hmm.
and it has industrial uses that can influence its price.
Okay.
Platinum
Yeah.
is rarer than gold,
Wow.
and it's essential for things like catalytic converters.
Oh, okay.
And then you have palladium,
Okay.
which has similar applications and often trades in a similar pattern to platinum.
So diversifying your precious metals portfolio within your gold IRA could potentially lead to better returns and help you manage risk.
Precisely. A well-diversified portfolio can weather market fluctuations better than one that's heavily concentrated in a single asset.
Right. Like that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Very good.
So true.
It's a classic for a reason.
So if a custodian only offers gold, it sounds like they might be limiting our options and potentially limiting our growth.
That's something to think about.
Yeah.
A custodian who embraces diversification is likely to be more forward-thinking
Okay.
and in tune with the needs of savvy investors.
As we continue this deep dive into gold IRAs,
Hmm.
it's becoming increasingly clear that selecting the right custodian is paramount.
Couldn't agree more.
It goes far beyond just storing gold. It's about finding a partner who truly understands our goals, addresses our concerns, and aligns with our vision for the future.
Absolutely.
It's a big decision.
It really is. And remember, this is your wealth.
Right.
This is your legacy.
Yeah.
Don't rush the process. Take your time,
Mm-hmm.
research, ask questions, and choose wisely.
Well said. Now, there's one more big topic that we really need to address, something that can really make or break our entire gold IRA strategy.
Okay, I'm listening.
IRS compliance.
Yes, the IRS.
We've covered so much: fees, storage, reputation,
Right.
diversification.
Right, essential.
All really essential when it comes to choosing a gold IRA custodian.
Right.
But there's one more topic that we really have to talk about.
Okay.
It's kind of the elephant in the room that we haven't really directly addressed yet.
You're talking about the IRS.
Yes, exactly.
They're not exactly known for being flexible when it comes to retirement accounts.
Exactly. And that's why IRS compliance is so crucial to our discussion today.
Yeah.
After all, the whole point of having a gold IRA is to take advantage of those tax benefits, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how can we, as informed investors, make sure that we're protected?
Well, the first thing to look for is a custodian who is completely transparent about their compliance procedures.
Okay.
They should be able to clearly explain how they ensure that your gold IRA follows all the IRS regulations.
Okay, so it's like those certified organic labels that you see on food.
Exactly.
Like you want that assurance that things are legitimate
Right.
and meet the standards?
Yeah. You want that seal of approval.
Okay.
And don't hesitate to dig deeper.
Okay.
Ask them about their internal controls, their audit processes, how they train their staff.
Right.
A custodian who takes compliance seriously will be more than happy to answer those questions.
Yeah, it's like choosing a surgeon.
Right.
You want someone who's not only skilled, but also follows all the safety protocols to the letter.
Exactly.
You won't want someone cutting corners with your health, and the same applies to your finances.
That's a great way to put it. And remember those organizations we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Like the BBB and NAPMI.
Yes.
They can also help you understand a custodian's compliance history.
Okay.
See if there are any red flags,
Okay.
like complaints or disciplinary actions related to IRS issues.
So it's about connecting the dots and looking at the whole picture.
Yes.
A custodian might have amazing customer service,
Right.
but if they have a track record of compliance issues,
Yeah, that's a problem.
that's a major warning sign.
Absolutely. And here's another thing to watch out for.
Okay.
Be wary of custodians who promise ridiculously high returns or push you towards specific investments. A legitimate custodian focuses on education, transparency, and helping you make informed decisions that align with your goals, not theirs.
It all comes back to trust.
Exactly.
We want a custodian who's a fiduciary, someone who's legally obligated to put your best interests first.
Yes, they're in it for the long haul, not just a quick profit.
Right. And keep in mind that the world of precious metals and IRAs, it can get complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with those IRS regulations.
Absolutely.
So if you're ever unsure about something, don't hesitate to seek out professional advice.
Right.
From a qualified tax advisor or a financial planner.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's worth getting that second opinion, expert guidance,
Yes.
to confirm you're on the right track.
Absolutely, because ultimately this is about safeguarding your wealth,
Exactly.
your legacy, your peace of mind.
Well said.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into gold IRA custodians, what are some key takeaways that you want listeners to remember?
Well, first and foremost, due diligence is key.
Okay. Don't rush into a decision. Take your time to research. Compare, ask tough questions.
It's like buying a house, right?
Exactly.
You wouldn't just sign on the dotted line without having a good look at the foundation.
Right.
And making sure everything's structurally sound.
Precisely. Secondly, look beyond the marketing.
Okay.
And focus on what really matters. Transparency,
Right.
reputation, compliance history, and a commitment to your best interests.
And finally, remember that the right custodian is more than just a service provider.
Yes.
They're a partner who is invested in your financial journey.
Well said.
Choosing wisely can make all the difference in securing your future and creating a lasting legacy for yourself and your loved ones.
Great advice.
I hope this deep dive has been insightful and empowered our listeners to make smart choices when it comes to their gold IRAs.
Me too.
Remember, knowledge is power, and having the right information allows you to make informed decisions that pave the way for a more secure financial future. Absolutely. Well said.